Hey everybody, I think we're live. All right. Hey everybody, you're probably watching this after the fact and archive on YouTube, but I'm going to get started anyway. Today we're going to be building this Tamiya Holiday Buggy RC car kit. First we're going to unbox it and then we'll put it together, and hopefully I can accomplish everything in one sitting today. I am building this in a room right above the garage, so if you hear some rumbling noises during the stream, nothing I can do about it. It's just somebody coming back. Okay, so I'm not going to talk too much. I'm just going to get started. I first going to open this. Let's use this one. It's a new knife. Starting to grow on me. First time I saw it, I was like, what is this? But you can get really close to the blade, which I really like. All right. Let's take a look inside. Well, that body really hits you right out of the gate, huh? Is this kind of dark blue? It's almost a navy blue. It's plastic. So I think the manual says don't paint this, but I'll double check. But it's a really good looking body. All right, put this aside. Of course, the yellow wheels. These are the rear tires. The spikes, these should do pretty well on dirt. And that's probably, that's the body post. I'm not sure what's going on underneath it. That's probably for the motor. Let's see what it says here. Use double-sided tape. Okay, we'll see what happens. This is the interior. Not sure what that is because there's no hood. Oh, I don't know. We'll figure it out. And then some exterior. Those are the lights. A couple gas cans. All right, and I kind of like this. We need to paint this later on, but I won't be able to do this on stream. I won't be able to paint anything on stream. And the face is pre-painted, which I'm really excited about because I hate painting heads. This is the ESC. This one came with, it's a little bit newer kit, so it came with the Hobby Wing 1060 instead of the Tamiya ESC, which you can argue is good or bad. So there it is, the 1060. And here is the Bathtub Chassis. Tub Chassis, not Bathtub Chassis. Tub Chassis. It's a really simple design. This is the battery compartment. The electronics goes on the side. And this is, I think this is the front. This is the rear. It's going to be... This is an easier kit. It's an entry-level kit. That's why I picked it. Pretty sure I can finish this in one sitting on stream. And that's probably the rear tower. One of these is the rear, one of these is front. That looks like a skid plate or a bulkhead right there. These are the, probably the lower arms. One of these is the lower arms. These are the lower arms. You can see those extra holes there for the bottom of the damper. These are going to be the upper arms. And in the middle, Can't really tell what those are. Well, those are going to be the body clips, the post, the short posts. This is going to be the gearbox. And these are the axles and outdrives and a couple dog bones. These are going to be the front uprights. And this is, that's probably the battery holder. And that's the skid plate. So, all right, and that's probably the rear bumper. And these are the front wheels. That yellow really looks good. Okay, let me take this out. There's always an antenna tube that I never use. This is a disclaimer sheet. Comes with every Tamiya kit. Here's the manual. I'm going to take that out. That's a really big manual. And here are the decals. I hope we're going to be able to apply these on stream today. And some racing numbers. Really cool. This is a really great color. All right. Okay. Let me get a little bit organized here. Let's take a look at what's in this bag right here. Okay. This is the A parts bag, and it's pretty heavy. It's got the diff gears. Wow, this thing has aluminum diff gears. Those are the front axles. It has a little tube of grease and a whole lot of screws and washers. I see some plastic bushings, which we're not going to be using. I bought the Holiday Buggy bearing set ahead of time, so I'm going to be using that instead of plastic bushings. You don't have to. Bearings, ball bearings are optional. And B parts bag are the damper springs. That tube looks like a limiter, and those are probably the damper shafts. Switch cover, and just some miscellaneous parts. C parts bag, there's more bushings, wheel nut, double-sided tape. I see a cross wrench, and I see some rod ends and a whole bunch of screws again. There we go. These are the damper bodies, so that is, I think they're identical. Yeah, I don't, well, these two are going to be the front. I'm guessing these two are going to be the rear. All right, and this is the Servo Saber. These are the gears. And here is the 380 motor. This is a pretty small motor. It's kind of cool. I think the only kit that I've built with a 380 was the Grasshopper. Let's see. Let me get this out. Pretty cool. So the pinion gear is already on. I think it's actually glued on or something because I don't see a grub screw, but it's cool. This is supposed to be a very beginner-friendly kit, and again, that's why I picked it for kind of first stream build. While I'm going to try to build the whole kit in one sitting. All right, so I say that it is a good beginner kit. It's going to be relatively fewer steps than pretty much anything we've built, even like the Grasshopper or anything like that. But I think this is going to be a pretty decent chassis for somebody just starting out. This is an extra large manual, which is the first time I've seen it. And there's even cartoon animation. So I think this is really meant for a beginner, which is great. Let's talk about some of the things we're going to need. We saw the motor, we saw the ESC. You're also going to need a transmitter and receiver. You're also going to need a servo. Of course, you need a battery and a charger. And I fixed this battery, by the way, if you're curious. If you follow me on Discord, or if we're in the same Discord server, you know I was kind of talking about this. It was my fault. I let it die. It's fine now. I recharged it. And here are some of the tools that we're going to use. Always is a screwdriver, and this is a crosshead. It's a JIS Japan Industrial Standard. Crosshead is not a Phillips, but Phillips will work just fine. Here's a wheel nut we'll need later for the driver will need later for the wheel nut. A pair of needle nose pliers. They always come in handy for something. A pair of cutters for the parts tree. You can use the grease that came with the kit, which is totally fine. I'm going to use some silicone grease, which is super lube right here, and I have it in a plastic syringe. I also have a finer tip, kind of smaller screwdriver for some of the smaller screws. You'll see on the Diff, I think there's going to be some small screws. I'll just leave this aside, the hobby knife. And I like to use this armorer block for some of the things that I can just set on, or even set the chassis on top of. I like using that. Let me see if I can point this down a little bit without messing it up too much. You know what? I'm going to leave it alone. It looks just fine. I'm just going to leave it alone. Every time I mess with something, it just gets worse. Okay, I'm going to put everything aside. Put these over here. Don't need those yet. So I think we're ready to get started. Tamiya kits are funny. Every Tamiya kit. It's not step 1, it's step 2 is to charge the battery. So if you have a trickle charger just like this one, you should go plug it in right now. Especially if you plan on building this in one sitting. I have enough charge on here to just test the electronics. So I'm done with step 1. Put that aside. And so let's go ahead and get started with step 2. And we're going to need all 4 of those arms. Let's see. I know 2 of these are the lower ones. For the front, these are probably some of the arms we need. Let's see. So I think, are the arms identical? Okay. So looks like the lower arms are identical. Front and rear. Let me grab those. And this is what you need the cutter for. And this plastic is not very rigid. It's a little bit flexible, which is good for RC car arms, suspension arms. That's going to take a brunt of the hits and kind of bouncing around or hitting a curb or plowing into the dirt or whatnot. These are directional, so we're going to lay this one down like this. And let's do the same over here. Okay. So it's going to lay down like this, and let's grab the upper arms. All right, let's see, and it's going to be this one right here. Going to need both of them. There's one. Okay. All right. Let's see. I don't need these yet. I do need to find, looks like C3. I'm feeling this is the C tree. This is the C tree. This is the front, yeah, these are the front. So I think I was right. It is the front damper stay. Oops. Let's see. There we go. Let's see which direction this goes. Let's look at the manual. It is, so there's a slope side right here. So that's going to face us. These two lower arms are going to be like that. And the upper arms, there's a little arrow. Let's see if we can see that or not. There's a little arrow that should face the front. And front is actually going to be towards me. So the arms are going to, upper arms are going to go in like that. All right, we're going to need some pins from the A bag. Let's see if I can find those scissors. No worries. I have, oh, there it is. Okay. Let's see what we got. I'm going to set those aside. Probably need those soon. I'm going to set the grease aside. And the pins we need are probably going to be in this bag, and it's probably going to be one of those. So this particular bag is kind of dirty inside. But just let me pour everything on this tray. Look how dirty that is. All right, so real quick, the column on the left side of the manual tells you quite a bit of information about each of the steps you're going to be doing. On the very beginning of the of a new bag, it'll tell you you're going to be using the A parts bag for steps 1 through 13. So all of these parts you'll be able to find in the A parts bag, and the individual parts are going to be on the trees that it calls out. All right. So we're going to need 2 of the longer pins and 2 of the shorter pins. And that looks like a really long pin to me. So there's one. And there's the other one. And then 2 of these shorter pins. 1, 2. Got it. And there's some even shorter ones than that. So don't get those mixed up. The column is printed to scale, so you can always use it to line up screws or, you know, bearings or whatever, just to make sure you got the correct one. So let's get started. So BA4 is the longer of the pins, screw pins. So I'm going to take that, and what we're going to do is in this hole right here on the corner right here, we're going to line up. Did I get the right arms? I didn't get, oh no, it's this one. Okay, so it's going to go like this, and we're going to put the pin through the arm first, and then thread it through like that, and make sure it goes through to the back. And you can see the threads are exposed now, and we're just going to give it a few turns. You don't want to over tighten this. You want the arm to have full movement. Let's do the other side. Welcome if you're joining my stream. Be great if you say hi. Tell me where you're from, where you're watching from. Always curious where my audience is. Let's see. There we go. And there is the lower arms. Now we're going to do the same thing to this hole right here. And take the shorter pins, thread it through the arm, and then the damper stay or shock tower, and put those on. Same with this side. And there we go. All right. So far, so good. I think we have step 2 done. Let me take a sip of water. Let's get to step 3. In step 3, we're going to need these axles that we put away a little bit later on. And let's see which side is left and right. So the diagram here have these things pointing up. We know that because it's a full circle. There's, you know, a few circles there, and that's an illustration of the ball stud right there. So this one lined up is going to be the left, and this one lined up like this is going to be the right. Okay, we're going to need a couple of those shorter pins that we saw earlier. There's one, there's two. Yep. Okay, now we need to find B1 for both sides. Let's see. I wish I had a really big side table next to me and I can just lay it out in order, but I don't. So I think it's going to be these right here. Let me just double check before I open this. This is B bag. Okay, should be in here. How's the sound? How is the picture? If you can let me know if I need to make any adjustments, I'd appreciate it. There are no do-overs for this stream. I can't take it apart and build it again. It is a one-time deal. So there's that. And there's the other side. And we want to make sure we take that little extra off as well. Okay. And it looks like these are symmetrical left and right, top and bottom. So it doesn't really matter which way we hold it. This does matter. So this is going to be B14, which is the right. And that's B15, which is the left, which is a little bit backward, but it's okay. So we're going to hold it this way. And we're just going to put that same kind of pin through there and tighten it. Make sure it's lined up to go all the way through. Let's see. Same thing. There we go. Okay, just give this one a few more turns. All right, make sure there's still full range of motion. Now set these aside. Let's move on to step 4 while we're making good time here. Let's slap these on, and we're going to need BA6, 2 of those, which are the same as the ones we just used, and 2 of these BA8 screws. And that should be the correct one. Same with that. And I think the other screws are going to be in this bag right here. Let me take these out because I'm not going to be using these. It's just taking up space. All right. Okay. All right, and the BA8 is going to be a silver screw. I don't know if you can see that or not. Look at the manual closely. That is shaded in kind of gray, and this is not. So they'll tell you this screw is going to be a light color screw, which I actually do not see. Well, it's probably going to be this one, just a little bit lighter. Yeah, it should be this one. It's not as dark as that one, but it's not a, silver screw like I thought it was. All right, so 2 of those. Oh, 4 of those. All right, 1, 2, 3, 4. I think more importantly, the screw has a little bit of tapered tip, so it's what they call a tapping screw. All right. So we're going to put the uprights on first. Let me put these aside. That's for the skip plate underneath. Let's put these on. So let's be careful. Actually, I think we need 4 of these. Let's grab 4. 3. That's the 4th one. So let's see. So with the ball stud up facing the back, this is going to be this side, and it's just the same thing. We're going to put the pin through the arm first, and then through the C block or C hub that holds the upright, and put that pin through, and then the bottom. All right, there we go. Let's do this side. Again, make sure everything has a full range of motion. And this side is going to be like that. Let me just push both pins through like that. And now let's put on the skip plate on the bottom. And this way it's going to be M9. And it should be this right here. It should be this. All right. I have double check. Yeah, this is the M tree, and that's going to be this piece right here. Let's see. All right. And it's going to line up like this. There's 4 holes here, and which is interesting because it really doesn't say which hole it lines up with. I will figure it out. Let's see. Is this the correct piece? Let's see. So these 4 holes, there's a lot of holes down here. I'm not sure which way it's supposed to be. It's an interesting design. Let's see. So it does line up. Okay, so there are 2 holes right there. So these 2 are going to line up with those 2, and the other one is just whatever lines up in the front. So let's see. I got those. Let me just put one in here and kind of tie it up. All right. And then the front. I am going to use the electric driver to save some time. It's never as good as a screwdriver, but I'll have to do. Hey everybody that's watching. How's everybody doing this afternoon? It's 2:30, around 2:30 where I am. I wonder where you guys are. You can tell me where you guys are watching from. That would be great. And don't forget to follow if you like RC cars, building RC car kits. That's what this channel is going to be about. I will try to live stream kit builds every time I jump on. Today we're building this Tamiya Holiday Buggy, and I'm going to try to finish this afternoon. I am on step 4 right now, and I just finished that, so the entire front looks like it's done. And it should look like this. Just make sure everything still moves and the screws are tight. I'm a little dismayed that these screws are kind of sticking out. If this car scrapes the bottom, it's going to rub these screws, but we'll see. I just want to make sure I put in the right screws. All right, anyway, put that aside. Start on the diff, and for that we need the bag with all the gears in it. It's going to be this big one. That's looks like a cup, and we're going to need the lid. I'm going to need these gears. Okay. And in this step, we're going to need the grease, the little tube of grease. Oops. I'm going to be using the silicone grease that I put in the plastic syringe. So let's get started with that. This is real straightforward, and we'll just walk you through it little by little. Don't be intimidated. These are all the same once you build one. So first thing I'm going to do is put a little bead of grease in the bottom because there's going to be a bevel gear in this one that is going to sit on top of this right here. So I'm just going to put a generous bead. It's kind of hard to see because the diff case is white. All these gears are white. All right. Kind of hard to see the clear grease. Okay, like that. Now we need to put some grease on the face of the gear. Now we need to put these together. And there's 3 shafts. And we're going to put one of these onto each shaft. But first we need to put some grease on there. Hey Popcorn, how are you? Where are you from, Popcorn? And the gears face towards the center. And once I got those 2 on, I'm going to hold it by those gears and do the 3rd. Like that. And I'm not going to grease it holding it. I'm going to put it into the diff box first. There are 3 kind of grooves right there. I don't know if you can see. And it's going to match up with the ends of these 3 shafts. So I just need to line them up and drop that in like that. Real simple. And now we need to grease those up, and I just usually just kind of turn it with the nozzle there and be generous with the grease. All right, like that. By all means, use the Tamiya grease that came with it. This is going to work just fine. If you want to use other kinds of grease, just make sure it is safe for plastic. So I don't think you want to use any lithium grease or anything like that. That possibly will be bad for the plastic parts. And I probably don't need this grease right here, but I'll put it on. Now we're going to drop this on here and just make sure it seats flush. And you can tell when everything kind of seats flush. You'll be able to tell. Then now, just like the bottom, I'm going to put a little bit of grease right there, because this is going, that gear is going to rub up against the outside of the case, inside of the case. And there's 3 little stems there, and it's going to line up with those grooves again, and it's going to close like this. Now we need 3 screws. BA10s. Let's see. These are going to be a little bit smaller than the other screws that we use, so I think it's going to be these silver ones. Let me see. There should be 4 of them. Let's see. 1, 2. That is not 1. I cannot tell. Oh, there's 3 of them, so it is going to be this one. All right, 1, 2, 3. Normally there are 4 screws. Okay, and this is when I'm going to use the smaller driver. And with something like this, you don't want to just drive 1 screw all the way in and then do the other ones. You want to work these kind of one at a time and make sure the cover, the diff case cover, isn't, you know, bent or leaning to one side. That's why you want to do all 3 screws together. And just take your time alternating between each one until you have all 3 screws fastened. And then I like to give everything an extra quarter turn to make sure everything's snug. There we go. And we're done with this diff. Easy peasy. Start building the rest of the gearbox. I'm going to start right here on step 6, the counter gear. And that's going to be this right here. And the side of the gearbox A1 is going to be, it's probably going to be this big one. Let's see. All right. Hey, thanks for the follow, guys. I don't have everything set up where I can see who followed or whatnot. I'm still streaming from my phone and I can't see all the notifications. Still pretty new at this streaming thing, and I'll buy more equipment as I go. For right now, just like the videos that I produce on YouTube, I'm just going to be using my phone. All right, so put that aside. This counter gear has room for 2 bearings, one on each side. And again, if you don't have ball bearings, it's okay. Just use the plastic bushings that came with it. I ordered ball bearings ahead of time, and I'm going to use those if I can get them out of the bag. Let's see, I think they're all going to be the same. Let's see. It's a very simple car. I don't expect too much. Yeah, looks like they're all going to be the same. And don't spend too much on bearings. I think these are shielded bearings. They're probably under $15. Okay, there we go. One on this side. This side is going to be flush, and this side is going to go in a little bit. It's going to be kind of halfway into the gear, and make sure that's flush also. And now. There we go. There's the garage door. Sorry about that. I am sitting right above the garage and I can't ask people to not go in and out. Let's see. Okay. Got a little bit of grease there. And this gear, the wider side, is going to go in there. So it's going to sit like this. Okay, and it should be free moving. You should feel really good. Shouldn't be any friction or anything. It should just feel really smooth. And this shaft is the correct one. And we'll just put a little bit of grease on here. All right, and put that through. And make sure it goes all the way through so that it touches the actual gearbox. And when you have done that, it looks super smooth. Look at that. Right, I'm not going to grease this gear yet. I'm going to see what else is going to go on because I don't like grease all over my fingers. Let's see. Let's move on to step 7. And it's going to be the differential that we just built. And this side is going to face out. It's going to end up being here. But we need to put a bearing on this side right here, over here. Like that. We also need A3, which is going to be this. Hey, if you don't mind putting in the chat, tell me where you guys are watching from. I'm going to guess you're in North America. But I'm just curious. I'm always curious where my viewers are from, where they're watching from. When I stream in the evenings, it's interesting. Most of the viewers then are going to be in Southeast Asia, like Indonesia. I'm more curious where in the world Tamiya is popular. Not so much who's watching me, but I'm just curious, kind of gauging how popular Tamiya is all around the world. So this side with the 3 screws is going to face up like that. And now before I close it, I will put a little bit of grease between the gears. So let's do this. Okay. I need to put a little bit of grease down in the bigger side. That is actually going to line up with the pinion gear, so that's important. So all I'm doing is putting some grease in there. You can take the gear back out and grease it if you want. Right. Thank you everybody who's watching right now. I assume you guys are also RC car enthusiasts, hobbyists, and who likes to build their kits, or you're looking for, or you're new to the hobby and you're just curious if this is difficult. And I can assure you it's not difficult. Just follow the instructions, and if you buy this kit, you can even follow along. And it is the Tamiya Holiday Buggy. And after the stream, I upload the videos to my YouTube channel, RC's RC Car, same as the Twitch channel. And you can reference them there. You can play in slow motion. You can pause whenever you need to follow along. And I think I have all my links page in the About Us page of Twitch, so you can find everything else I have. Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, things like that, all the other socials. All right, now that's closed up, I need to find 4 of those BA8 screws. I have a feeling it's just going to be these again. All right. So let's see. It's going to be one right here. Again, you don't want to tighten one screw at a time. You want to make sure you have all 4 screws in there and kind of level them in one at a time. I swear I just built a gearbox just like this one. I think it was the DT-02 Neo Fighter. This looks really familiar. All right, my screwdriver is a little bit too big. So this Tamiya screwdriver set, when I first saw it, I thought it was a waste of money because why do I need something that's $25 when I can just use a $3 screwdriver? As it turns out, Tamiya kits still uses the Japanese industrial standard screws. So these are just a little bit different from the Phillips screws. So it is better to use JIS tips, and this set just happens to be JIS. And I always have trouble with this screw for some reason, because I can't use the correct size screwdriver, which is this one, and so it kind of tends to slip. But I'll get through it. Let's see, let me try this. This is a little bit better. Just take my time. Same with this one. Welcome everybody watching the stream. Thanks for joining me. Don't forget to follow. Today is kind of a special stream. I wanted to build a kit, test this time of the day, see if I can attract more viewers. I normally stream in the evenings on the weeknights. That's what I've been doing the past week, and this would be my 5th streams. I just started last week. I'm still trying to build an audience, still trying to figure out when's the best time to do this so that more people can watch and discover my channel. I thought, why not? Sunday afternoon seems like a good time. Everybody's just relaxing, and see if I can get more people to watch today. Right, I got all 4 screws tightened up, and it should look like this when you're done. Now let's start with the motor, and the motor is going to have some hardware in front of it and that gear. But let me find the motor first. Where did I put the motor? There it is. And I'm gonna need that H3. We saw that in the beginning during the unboxing. There it is. It's gonna be this right here. Going to be that. Does everybody have a RC car here, or is everybody just curious about building a kit? Okay, so we need to line this up properly, and there's 2 holes that is going to mount onto the motor, and there's 3 holes on the motor, but only 2 of them are going to be across from each other, which was needed. So this piece is going to line up. This illustration is a little bit different. I just want to make sure that is the correct piece. Let's see, H3. I want to put on the wrong thing. H3. So that is H and that is 3. And it's the only piece that looks like that anyway. Okay, let's find these screws. BA9 and the nuts. Let's see. And we're still in a parts bag, by the way. So we need 2 of these nuts. Those are easy. And I think these silver screws are going to be the ones we're looking for. And we also need a couple bearings later for the other gear. Let's see. Okay. So these screws are going to go through these 2 holes, and those nuts are going to go into there and here. All right, and we'll set those in a little bit later. I think this is the wrong tip. Is it the right tip? Let's see. If you already have an RC car, tell me what you have. I am just curious what kind of RC car everyone has. Okay, and it looks like before I bolt this on like that, I'm going to need to put those nuts on and hope they don't fall out. Oops. See what we can do about that. Let's see. It doesn't want to go in. All right. Here we go. little bit harder than I imagined. All right, there we are. And these two screws are going to, oops, that's what I was afraid of. It doesn't want to go in, but it'll fly right out. Okay, so I'm gonna hold it carefully. All right, again. Again, these two screws. I'm having a really difficult time with this. Okay, so these two screws are going to go into these two holes right there. So we're going to line that up and see if I can drive those through. Okay, need to make sure it lines up. This is harder than it looks because I don't want those nuts to fall out like that. Well, I think this side doesn't matter. I think this side, there's enough room for me to put them back. Doesn't look like I got it into that hole. Let's see if there's a better way to do this. Let's see. And let me just make sure that is the correct hole. Make sure it goes all the way in. Everything needs to kind of line up. Okay, let's see. All right. Let's see if I can get this going in properly. Is it on? Nope. All right, let me test something really quick. Let me make sure these screws will fit into the motor. Let's see. Okay, maybe I have the wrong screws, maybe not. I don't see any more screws that are this size. Yep, there's the problem. Let's see. I probably have the wrong screws. Let's see what I... Oh, it's these black ones. And that's a shame. They're not really shaded darker, so I didn't realize that these even existed. Okay, here we go. I still need to put this back. So let me try to hold this upright and line up the motor. And see if I can get it in there without the screws popping out. The last time I built a gearbox like this, same thing happened, so I'm not really surprised. I forgot what it was. I forgot which car it was. But I've definitely built a gearbox like this one. And oh, I think I got it. I think. It's deceiving? Nope, I don't think I got it. Wow, this is really killing me over here. Okay, I think I got it finally. Oh, just hit the 1 hour mark. And I hope we're on track to finish this on stream today. I plan on streaming maybe around 3 hours or so. Let's see. Okay, when you're done, it should look like this, but I wouldn't tilt it up because actually, nope, the motor is holding those two nuts now, so it should be good. Okay, so now let's work on that gear. This is the Spur Gear, which is going to line up like this. Going to be something like that. We need 2 bearings again, and the shaft. Should be only 1 shaft left. So again, 1 here, and 1 on this side, and make sure both of them are flush against the gear. And we're going to put this through. Before we do, we need to put a little bit of grease on it. Okay. All right, and then the next part is going to be this way. Is it this way? Let's see. It's going to be this way. And I need to put a little bit of grease here before I line it up with that hole. So let's do that. So I'm just going to drop that in there. Okay, and just push all the way down, make sure it's set. And it's not really moving, so that's good. Tidy up a little bit. And we need to do the same thing. Oh, that's where the other screws are from. So these 2 screws are going to be for mounting the motor to the gearbox. And I think this car can accept a 540 motor, and that's why this plate is needed. I just realized that. So now we're going to line up these 2 holes with this one and that one right there. And let's see if I can do it on 1 try. Okay. All right, I think I got it. Let's see if I can get this in there. I don't think I lined it up. Let's see. Really hard to see. Let's try this one. Okay, looks like I got it. And you can see by doing it this way, the gear mesh is automatically set and you don't need to worry about it. This is perfect gear mesh right out of the box. Now what's bothering me is the fact that these 2 gears do not line up very well, this one and this one. So let me see if there's anything I did wrong. Doesn't look like it. I guess that's the way it is. This isn't supposed to stick out any further, I don't think. Oh, well, the illustration right here, the gear's sticking out as well, so it's correct. Okay, let me make sure there is this right here. We need to use double-sided tape to tape that on to the motor, actually before I drove it on there, but I think I can sneak it in there. Let's see, double-sided tape and H5. Again, the outside, just in front of this way, there's a window there, and it's an alleyway. So may hear a car walking by, driving by. So that is it. Probably have to take this motor out. Let me see. It lines up here for some reason. I don't even know what this is for, but it kind of goes in here. Oh, I think it's supposed to keep the motor in place. Well, let's see what I'm gonna do. All right, so let's see, double-sided tape. Did it come with any? Maybe it's in the later bag, I don't know. But let me just get a piece right here. Doesn't need to be perfect. Black. Okay. Just so I don't mess up and I'm doing this properly for everybody, I'm going to take this back out. And so it looks like the motor is like this. There's that vent there, and this is going to go, looks like it goes right here, like it goes in. It's not clear at all. Let's go like this or like that. I thought it was to punch, you know, push this through there, but it doesn't look like it. It looks like those. Oh, here. There's a diagram right here. So let's see. Let's line this up and see where it goes. Alrighty. So it goes like this. So it should be on the bottom. No worries. No worries. Alright, so it is going to go right here, it looks like. It does go in there, but it doesn't want to go in. Let's see. Yeah, well, something like this. It's gonna be something like this. I think I got a little bit of grease on the double-sided tape, or it's just not touching. I think I got a little bit of grease on it. Or I'm using the wrong one. Let's see. This is kind of awkward thing that needs to be done. It is touching, so let's see what else I have. I think this is going to be the same. So let's just try again. Appreciate everybody watching the stream, and sometimes I mess up. So hope you stay with me while I try to figure things out. This is my first time building this particular kit. I don't quite know everything about it just yet. It's probably the last time I'm going to build this kit. Not because I don't like it, just because I don't think I need to build this again. There's no variance. It's just going to be this kit again. There's no different body styles. There may be another chassis is the same as this one. But you know what? I don't think it's thick enough. That's why it's not touching. That's why it's not sticking. I'm taking a little too long with this step. I've been here for quite a bit already. If I want to finish this kit on stream, I'm going to have to kind of hustle a little bit after I figure this out. All right, let's see. Let's not waste any more time. So let's just put it right here and put this back in there. I don't know why it doesn't want to stay. But if it falls out, I'm just going to use shoe glue and just make it permanent. It's kind of odd. So let me line those screw holes up again. It's going to be this one and that one. And to be honest, I don't know what those were for. What that plastic piece is for. To help you line it up, or what reason it's there. I had no trouble lining it up without it. Now that it's on, I'm actually having a harder time. Let's see. Okay. Let's see if they'll stay. Hello everybody, wherever you're watching from. Thank you for joining my stream. I am building the Tamiya Holiday Buggy RC car kit. And I'm trying to finish this on one sitting. I'm probably a little bit behind. I was hoping to stream for about 3 hours. But I'll keep going until it's done. So I need a little bit of grease all the way around here between the spur gear and the pinion gear. And you can use the Tamiya gear that came with the kit, little tube right here, or you can use whatever gear, whatever lube grease that you want. Everybody have their preference. Everybody have their secret formula or whatever works for them, or whatever they have laying around. No judgment here. I like silicone grease. I know it's safe for plastic, and it works for me. So this cover is going to go on like this. So this large Tamiya circle right here going to go on the spur gear. And I'm just going to line it up like this. Solid. And it's pretty too. It's a little bit polished. So it looks really good. So we're going to need 3 of these little screws, and just put them there, and one right there. I think it's that one. Okay. Ugh. After I've been doing this for a little bit of time, I'm holding my hands up in the air the whole time, and my hand starts getting shaky. So that's when I need to start setting things on the table. All right. Everybody's real quiet today. If you have any questions, please feel free to type it in chat. I'll be happy to help. Try to answer your questions. Finally, we're done with the gearbox. So let's keep chugging along. I think we're going to put the lower arms on this now. Quick sip of water. Let's grab those D6 arms again. Yeah, I think it's these two right here. It's always good when I hear the air conditioning start back up, and I know a cool breeze is coming. I'm here in Southern California, and right now it's 81 degrees outside, so it's a little bit warm. I don't think I would say it's hot, but it is definitely warm outside. Okay, it goes like this, and we're going to need the long pin. I think there's this one, and then there's a super long pin. I didn't realize there's a super long pin. All right, I think we're gonna need two of the long pins. These two. Okay, and we're gonna come from this direction. Let's see. And the reason why we're coming in this direction and not this direction is this is actually the back of the buggy, and you'll be able to service this. If it was put in this way, it's basically going to be blocked by the chassis of the car, and you won't be able to work on it. Like if you broke an arm, you wouldn't be able to take it out. You'd have to take off the whole gearbox. Okay. So that, let me make sure I put in the arms correctly. Yes. So this little angle here is facing this way. The last kit I was building, this Subaru Impreza DT-02, I put the front arms in a little bit wrong. I flipped the upper arms wrong, and I only did one side wrong, so it looks completely strange. And I have to fix it before tomorrow night's stream. I think it's gonna be tomorrow night, I'm not sure. I haven't painted the body yet, and I was hoping to do the decals on stream for the final step. It depends if I have time tomorrow to paint it during the day. If not, it's going to be a Tuesday night stream. Or if I don't finish this kit tonight, today, I'm gonna have to finish it tomorrow night. So it could be a possibility as well. Okay, now we're going to move on to step 12, and let's put on the other two arms first. And it's going to be these two right here. Thank you everybody joining me on stream today. Appreciate you watching, or you're joining me from YouTube after the fact and watching this video later on. Welcome. Thanks for watching. I hope you have this kit as well and you're working on it and you just need a little bit of help, or you're just wondering if you should buy this kit or not. So far so good. It really is an easy kit to build so far. So it's going to be a BA5 again. So it's going to be these two. I have no complaints. I build a lot of Tamiya kits. Some are better than others. Some are easier than others. And I would say this is going to be one of the easier kits that I'm going to build. I think if... I'll just do 1 through 5 because there's no reason to go 1 through 10. 1 through 5, 5 being the most difficult, and 5 being a race car like a T-08 or a belt-driven race car, TB, I think 03 or 05, I don't remember. Those where everything kind of needs to be perfect and there's a lot of components, I would say those would be 5. And even a nitro, 1/8 scale nitro buggy would definitely be a 5. I think any brand nitro buggy is going to be a 5, 1/8 scale. And 4 would be something that's very tedious, like lots of parts, like a Monster Beetle. Just bigger trucks. Then those would be 4, and 3 would be like a DT-02, just your average kit. And so I would say this is kind of like a 1.5, 2. I don't know how easy it is to build those comical cars. I imagine they would be pretty darn easy, and those might even be easier than this kit. But yeah, this kit is it's a joy to build. I think the last kit that I built, the DT-03 Neo Fighters, also right there, I'd say that would be a 2.5. This is easier than that one. Everything's coming in well so far. There's no, well, actually, this was a little bit difficult, but you know, I don't think it'll stump anybody. If it stumps you, just go with a bigger motor, just to put a 540 in there, and you don't have to deal with that little tab, little glue-on tab. All right, so we're putting this out drive through. If you remember, this is actually the differential, and if you look at that right there, it's actually flat on 2 sides. So when you put it in there, you need to make sure it goes all the way in and it indexes. So it's not going in right now, but I'm gonna keep turning it until I have it lined up with the inside. Let's see what's going on here. Okay, it should be, there we go. So just keep turning it. There we go. Set that down. Let's move on to step 13. This is the last step of the A parts bag. So we're gonna need some pins, and we're gonna need the rear uprights and the axles, and these are going to be the rear axles, so let's grab those. And we're also going to need the dog bones on both sides. Let's grab both of these. Okay, and let's find those uprights. I didn't see them when we were unboxing, so let's hope I can find these relatively quickly. Yeah, I honestly did not see them. Let's see. I'm going to assume they're black color. Oh, there they are. So these are it right here. I was wrong. When I was unboxing this, I thought these were the front. These are actually the rear. So let's see. Oh, because the front axles are those are these kind. These are, that makes sense. Okay, so I think both sides are the same. We don't need to worry about left and right. We do need to put a bearing in. Again, if you don't have ball bearings, you're going to be using these plastic bushings. Just need two, one on each side. So there's one. All right, so there we go. Needs to make sure it goes all the way in, it's flush. Let's see, let's do this side. Okay, there we go. Now we need to thread that through and put some grease there before we do. Just like that, and here. Happy Father's Day to everybody out there who's a dad. I hope your children appreciates you. And maybe they gave you a Tamiya kit for a Father's Day present. You never know. That would be a great present for me. Okay, so here's a little trick to put in the dog bones and to line them up. Before we put in the dog bone and try to line it all up, I'm actually going to put on the bottom pin, and the bottom pin is going to be the BA5, the shorter one. It's going to be BA5 is the longer one. I must have messed up somewhere along the way. Let me see. I messed up somewhere along the way, and I'll fix it. BA4. BA4. Okay, I messed up on this right here. I messed up on these two right there. These two are supposed to be the longest pin. Hey, Sandwich, no Tamiya kit, but they gave me time to... That's good. I told my family that I'm going to stream in the afternoon. I was supposed to do it this morning, but I stayed out a little bit later. Didn't get home till 10 o'clock, and I was exhausted. So, good thing I didn't, because I actually got called out to go show a house. So I wouldn't have gotten the call, because I'm using my phone to stream, and would have missed it. And it's you know, work is important. I tend to work on the weekends because I'm a real estate agent. But obviously I enjoy this. Okay. Let's see. All right. Now again, we're going to use the longer pin, and I'm going to secure the bottom of the upright first. Are you going out to Father's Day dinner later on? Sandwich. And it shows here to put grease on the metal shaft of the dog bone, but it tends to be messy. So I usually just put it inside the cup. And just be generous with the grease. Just an easy day for me. Okay. That's good. I haven't heard what's for dinner yet, so maybe we'll go out to dinner. I have no idea. Right, so the dog bone goes into each side of the axle and the outdrive cups, and then we're going to pin it with the shorter pin screw and lock up the top. And that's why you want to secure one side first. You can secure the top first if you want, but I think the bottom is a little bit easier. All right, there we go. I messed up again. Okay. It's reading chat is not my friend. I'm not blaming you, Sandwich. I'm just saying every time I get distracted and I don't think about what I'm doing. I just go into automatic mode and not realize what I'm doing. Okay. Again, the screw pins go in the other direction so that you'll be able to work on the suspension arms on the hub when everything is put together, because this side is the rear of the car. I have grease all over this manual today. Okay, there we go. Again, same thing. I'm going to put a pin through. Why do I keep messing up? Is this not the right? Is this not the right arm? Ay, ay, ay. I put on the wrong arm. Let's see. I am really bad at this. Okay, that's the wrong arm. So I need to take this apart. Maybe I shouldn't be qualified to do this on stream. Maybe I shouldn't do this on stream anymore because I can't. I keep rushing through things and making mistakes. Anyway. But everyone makes mistakes. I should have noticed that. I don't know why I didn't. I should have noticed the arms were different to begin with. Again, didn't notice that either. So, that's what happens. But it's okay. I'm just demonstrating that if you make a mistake, you can always go back and fix it. And nobody's perfect. I've built a lot of kits and I'm still making mistakes. So don't be afraid to buy yourself one of these kits and give it a try. Okay, so no harm, no foul. And I need to take this one off, this one off. Easy enough. Thank you everybody for watching. If you are new to my stream, feel free to follow me. I build RC car kits live, and I hope you can join us. I try to build one kit a week. Some of the more difficult kits might take me 2 weeks, but between now and the end of the year, I plan on just keep building until I run out of kits. Let's see. And I encourage you, if you're at all interested in RC cars, to go out and either buy an RTR ready to run or buy yourself a kit and build it yourself. And it's not hard. It really is not difficult. Oops. And you can watch my stream and follow along, or you can go to my YouTube channel and get some help there as well. Let me see if I can line this up. I'm trying to figure out which way. it's just not like super. Usually these screws like line up perfectly and you just feel like it's just a properly fitted, like you know there's like a, you know you did it right, but this seems like this skid plate and this front bulkhead, it just kind of just floating against each other, not really locked into each other like I'm used to. Anyway, so I'm trying to undo a mistake I made a little bit earlier on. I used the wrong arm in the front, and I wasn't able to put the uprights on the back, and I am almost done fixing it. I am putting back the skid plate onto the front so I can move on and continue with the back. Let's see. And just like before, what bothers me is that it doesn't fit like it's perfect. And I'm wondering why, if it's because I have it in the wrong hole. But I guess we'll figure it out. I'm going to keep moving. So I was here, so let me put this arm on, and it's this way. And I don't see the pin. Let's see. Oh, here it is. This direction. Did your paint come, Sandwich? Are you working on that right now? Are you painting those wheels as we speak? BA6 and BA5. So this is this one. All painted and finished with that. Building shocks. Oh, you got the CVA shock. Wow, you got everything so quick. Wasn't that like Wednesday or Thursday you bought that and it's here? They deliver it on a Sunday? Then I'll trim the body post and be done. Speaking of trimming body posts, do you have one of these? It's a Ya Racing. This is made just for that. It's a little bit wonky to use, and it only works on like 10 scale body post. It doesn't really work on the crawlers or 8th scale, but it really makes a nice nice cut, and it chamfers the kind of rounds off the top. Pretty neat. A little bit hard to use in the first time, but once you get the hang of it, it's not that bad. I almost forgot. We're going to put the dog bone in. If I want to have any chance of finishing this by 5, I cannot make any more mistakes. Alright, dog bone in. Thursday, yeah, you got it in like 3 days. Wow. Let's see. There we go. Don't have that. I just rough cut the size, fine tune in the hobby knife, and then sand. Oh yeah, you sand. That makes sense. I don't think I've just usually just snapped it off with a cutter and then just left it as is. You know, the whole tip is like squeezed, pinched together. I keep doing the same darn thing. Oh my goodness. I really need to I am doing this to myself. I am not nobody to blame. It's just me. I am just not paying attention. All the screws should be pointed in this direction, so that if you're working on it later on, it'll be easier to access. So let me I think next time I'm going to cheat. I think next time I'm going to buy 2 kits of the same. Build one first, see where all the pain points are. And then when I build it on stream, it'll look like I didn't make any mistakes. All right, here we go. Everything is correct now. Okay. I have secured everything, and I have the front and the rear done. Let me take those away. And let's build the dampers. And the dampers are those pretty blue ones. The body color dampers. Let me just take a quick peek how many steps are left. Let's see. Dampers onto the arms. And then the tub chassis, electronics, some steering links, and then attach the front. And this, you know what? I'm not gonna rush. Whatever I get done at 5 o'clock, that's all it's gonna be. And I'll just finish it tomorrow night. I haven't painted the Subaru body anyway, so I can just finish this car off tomorrow night. I'm just going to go at a leisurely pace. So now I know I can only accomplish so much in 3 hours. Just cut everything out before we start. I don't want to rush the decals especially. That's important to me. So it doesn't look like I'll be able to finish everything today. All right, so start here. F4, those are the same. F2 is the shorter body, and the BB4 is the shorter pin shaft, and I have 2 leftover screws. I wonder, guess we'll find out. There's always some leftover screws. Okay, here's the B bag and everything else we need. Dun, 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 dun. There's a pin right there. And these are the rubber hose limiters. Haven't used these in a while. Probably for the servo. And these are the 4 pins. Ah, this was, well, no. I don't know where those are for. We'll find out. Nope, it's for right here. Oh, those are the tubes. All right, let's see. I need F2, which is the shorter damper body. I need the shorter of the damper shafts. And the springs are also different lengths, so let's see. I need the shorter of the springs. Let's see. Okay, there we go. It's gonna be this one. Yep. Okay. And I need a 4, which is the same for front and rear, so it's going to be that. And I just need to, I'm going to use the smaller driver right here and line them up. Let's see. That's the best way to do this. I think I need to compress them all the way. Nope, didn't go anywhere, thank goodness. That would have flown a long way if it didn't go all the way in. Screw and shown. Okay. All right, got that. And now we need the limiter. We need rubber tubing, which is going to be this front short one right here. So let me grab a, oh, I have it out already. Here it is. Let me grab a hobby knife. And okay, I think that'll do it. I'm just cutting this off just out of camera view because I want it to be close to me when I cut this. So please bear with me. Making the second one. Okay, there we are. There's two. So, and we're going to drop the limiter in there. Okay, and then put on the cap. And there's a hole here, and I'm going to line it up with that hole. And I guess that's what those screws are for. Let's see, BA8. There's only two. Oh, we'll see what happens. I'm sure there are more screws. Okay, we need to build two of these size and then two of the other size. Wow. That works pretty well, actually. That almost works like a oil filled. That's pretty good damping. All right, so that's the other one. Yep. And it's going to be this short body. This. I'm going to hold that there. It's going to be the tighter wind. Yeah, it's going to be this one. Okay, and then this. That in there. Put the cap on and secure everything. This on. Okay, there we go. They're not terribly consistent, but hey, better than no dampers. Use double-sided tape, including bag C. Oh, I was supposed to use a little motor thing. I was supposed to use this tape. Oh, but that's the same as what I had. Oh well. Okay, now let's do the rear dampers, and it's going to be the... Why do I keep doing stuff like this? I wish you guys can watch what I'm doing and shout out when you see me make a mistake, like the one I just made. That is why they're not consistent, because this is the wrong size shaft. And it's going to be very hard for me to take this out. There we go. Is this the correct one, or the other one was the correct one? I guess we'll find out. Please, if you guys are paying attention, please tell me I'm making a mistake before I make it. I'd really appreciate it, so I don't have to keep undoing, taking things back apart. Yeah, this is too long. I used the wrong damper shaft for this side. Welcome everybody to my stream. I am building the Tamiya Holiday Buggy, and I'm making some mistakes as I go. So make sure you stay tuned and watch me make mistakes so that you don't have to. And I can't say it's just when I do this on stream. I kind of mess up when I'm not on stream. The only time I kind of do better is when I'm fixing a car. When I'm fixing a car, I tend to put everything back together correctly. I don't know what the logic is with that, but that just seems to be the case. Maybe because when I'm taking it apart, I have to pay attention to taking it apart. Or I'm only taking apart a small section at a time. One or the other, or both. It seems like whenever I'm building a new kit, I make mistakes. All right. Okay. Okay. Now they both feel the same. Stay hydrated. Put the knife away before it falls on my lap. All right, and then the spring. And tie everything together. And I'm going to cut this size now, and I'll try to cut it right here. I don't really want to cut the manual though. So I don't mind sacrificing a table, but I want to try to keep this intact. All right, Now I need to find more screws. Let's see where those screws are. It's going to be in here. So let's see. BA8. Every Tamiya kit, there's always one screw that is ubiquitous. Literally every step uses that one screw. And there's a ton of them. For this kit, it's the BA8. This little stubby one. Ouch. Okay. Wow, this is it was really good damping. That took a little bit of strength. Alrighty. Okay, the end cap. I don't think I've built dampers like this before. This is the first time for this kind of damper. With the limiter inside the shock body. Usually it's either the friction kind on the cheaper sets or oil-filled dampers on the CVAs. All right. But we saw how they work. Let me show you. So what ends up happening is the tube goes all the way inside, kind of fills that cavity, and when the damper shock moves up, well, if this was holding it, it wouldn't come up all the way. It kind of just slows it down by friction. All right. Thank you everybody for watching my stream. I appreciate you hanging out with me. All four done. On this Father's Day, this Sunday. Hope everybody's having a great day. I am so far, so let's go to C2. And it's gonna be this big one right here, yep. Okay, let's pay attention so I don't have to do this again. Okay, so we need to find those step screws. It's going to be BB9 for there and there. So let's measure. So there's 1, 2. And the dampers are going to be the longer ones, the rear ones. And that is the top. And that is going to go to the last hole right there. So let's put that on. You know what? I'll flip this over because I want this. Well, does it turn? Nope, it doesn't turn. So I want this screw to be on this side. All right. Oh, that could have went right through my palm. Okay, the second one. I don't know if you can hear the faint siren in the back. But I do live not super close, but I'm close enough to a major intersection that I can hear sirens sometimes. I am here in Southern California. I wonder where you guys are from. If you want to let me know in the chat, that would be awesome. Okay, and that is done. Now we're going to bolt it onto the chassis. I mean, onto the gearbox, rear gearbox. Let's see, and that's this right here. And it's going to be this side. It's going to line up like that. Again, same thing. Oh, okay, there is. Okay, there's some kind of cup that does line up. And you can kind of feel it before put the screws on. 2, 3, 4. Let's double check each screw as they go. Hey Sandwich, we were talking about gold wheel nuts, and I was wondering if Super G Drift would have it. If anybody has fancy wheel nuts, it would be the Drift guys. I think the crawler guys might have different colors. Maybe they would have the red ones. But if you're looking for gold, I think the group that would have it, most likely have it, are the Drift guys. I can see a lot of wheels being gold. And you wanting to use matching wheel nuts, that they would. The only people just as fanatical or more fanatical than the crawler guys are the Drift guys. It's not a good thing or a bad thing. I'm just saying, that's just pointing out what it is. I like those drift cars. I have a couple of drift cars myself. Not as fancy as the ones that I've seen though, with the scale bodies and stuff. The interiors, the blinking lights. Fascinating, really awesome cars. I'm just not one of those people yet. That's true. They might have, yeah. I mean, you can always paint them, I'm sure. You can just paint the chrome ones, sand it down a little bit, and then maybe one coat of primer and one coat of gold paint, and you'd be golden. Okay, the rear damper's on. I like that contrast. That blue and the black looks really sharp. Awesome. Put this aside. Let's do the front, and the front is going to need that little brass sleeve there. Dump that out. Those two washers. So I'm gonna need these, I think. Yep, there's one, there's two. And they go on the bottom. Let's see. So there's going to be a pin on the bottom and a step screw on top. So I think I'm going to do the bottom first, because that's going to be a little bit more difficult, I think. So for this set, the damper is actually going to go through the arms, and this time it's going to be the inner hole. So the front, I'm gonna put this through there. So the front shock angles are a little bit more upright than the rear. For traction, which makes sense. So there we go. All right, and then the top is just the step screw. And it's gonna be this corner right here. Okay, again, drop that in there. Oops. And it's the inner hole, like I said. And a step screw for the top. Let's see, here we go. And there we go. We're done with the front. Let's move on to step 17. Is anybody building a kit as well at the same time I'm doing this, or everybody just have this stream on the background? Kind of watching it for fun. Let's see now. Let's move on to the chassis. Right here, the tub chassis. So there it is, and we need to find that battery holder, which is this right here. Okay, and we need to find those two and that. And I definitely saw them. So there's one here and one there. Need that. And is that, yep, the 4. What's that? Where's the other tree? Right here. And I think I only need this one. And I need several screws, those BA8s again. I need 4, but let's do this first. Turn this over. And let's see, I want Tamiya to be not upside down, so it's going to be this way. So there and there. This is an interesting design. Kind of reminds me of the Traxxas / ECX battery trays. Center battery trays are interesting. I guess it would help with the balance of the car. It'd be easier to balance. Anything is better than the lateral batteries for me. So the batteries that go like this across the chassis, I really don't like those. Batteries usually sticking out, or it's being held on by just a couple tiny arms. I'm not a big fan of those. I like having the battery in the tray, kind of, set in there and it's solid. You either have a locking mechanism or a strap that keeps it in place. I think those are a little bit better for me. Buggies. Yeah, the DT-02 battery tray is probably what I'm referring to as a good one. It's sitting on the side. It's got a nice battery strap. I wonder if you guys hear the vacuum in the background. Okay, there we go. It closes. It looks good. Feels positive. And what do we need to do in front? We need to put some sponge tape right in that corner for some reason. I'm going to guess it's for the servo. So again, I'm going to ask why Tamiya doesn't just cut these into size and not require us to cut them. Oh, good. Thank you, sandwich. There we go. Okay, and we're at the electronics. Okay, we still have 45 minutes. Good. Let's see how far we can get. So, servo. This step is probably the most important. Let's see. Confirm maker of RC unit used before installation. Electronic speed controller. So it's just talking about sizes right now. I don't see why this wouldn't fit. Yeah, it sits sideways. It sits in the chassis like this. So I don't see why it won't fit. Sometimes I forgot which car it was. HPI. Yeah, the RS4 for some reason would not accommodate a low profile servo. Just the way it was designed. It just didn't accommodate it. All right, so let's skip to step 19 and we're going to find it's the gray tree. It's going to be this. We're going to be using P2, which is going to be this one. And then P4 is this one right here. And then the next one is going to depend on our server. We're either going to use P5 or P6. So in order to figure it out, we're just going to try them on. And it's definitely going to be this one. P5. Your servo may be different. So just put them on there and see which one fits. Before we do that, I'm going to put those two ball studs on. And it's these tiny ones with these tiny little nuts in the back. So let's see, what's the best way to do this? All right, there we go. How about now, Sandwich? Can you hear the vacuum? Ah, she stopped again. All right, let's see. I'm going to grab one of these cross wrenches, and the nut does have two sides. One is completely flat, the other side is round. You want the completely flat side to go towards the screw, of course. Whoops. And this side you can actually hold with a, I don't know if you can see that, but there's it's a flat head, so you can actually hold on to it. Is it this one? I think it is this one. Yep. Okay, let's see. Is it moving? Yeah. Let me grab that. Very fine flathead, and I got this kit, driver kit on Amazon. I'll leave a link somewhere. Probably going to be, actually it's already in my Amazon storefront, and you can find that in the About Us page. Under all my links, I have made a page for all the links that I have, and I actually put together a Amazon storefront to kind of put everything I use together in one place. If you wanted to support me when you place an order using that page, or if you buy something, I recommend using that page. I do get a tiny commission from it, so that would be a good way to support what I'm doing here on the channel. And for some odd reason, it's none of those sizes on that cross wrench. So I don't know how Tamiya expect people to do this except using a pair of pliers. Okay. It's an important ball stud. This actually hooks onto the steering link. And you don't want that coming loose driving around. Okay. Thank you everybody for watching my stream. I am building the Tamiya Holiday Buggy. And we're about 2 hours and 20 minutes into the stream. I am on step 19, and I don't think we'll be able to finish the whole kit. You might be able to finish the chassis in time, but I don't think we're going to be able to put the decals on the body. So I'm going to continue this stream tomorrow. I haven't decided what time yet because I really do want to try different times of day for my stream. I know there's different schools of thought. Stream when there's more people watching. Stream when there's less people streaming, and so you have less competition. Both school of thoughts make sense to me. It's just also need to consider what's convenient for me. It's something I can do consistently. So now we need to center the servo, and to do that we're going to need the receiver and the battery. And the servo is always channel 1. And the ESC, let me see which ESC I'm going to use. All right, for right now, just so I don't have to dig that one out of the box, I'm just going to use this ISDT. This is a pretty decent servo. It's an 80-watt servo. I don't really want to open that 1060 ESC if I don't have to, especially just for testing purposes right now. And this is a pretty neat ESC also. Let's see, and I need the battery. So the problem with the 1060 ESC is that the switch is not the same as the TBLE-02S, which the so mounting it is going to be different. Okay, either this is okay, that's working. This is about to die, but that's okay. This is center now, so let me just put this on really quick. So it's going to be this way, and we just need to make sure that it's as close to vertical as possible. That looks pretty good. I'm going to turn this off. And now we need to find the screw that will fit in there. And I haven't figured out which one yet, but we'll try different ones. I have a feeling it's going to be this one right here. Maybe. No, that's not. Okay, first let me find that. Let me find P1 first. I need that plastic spacer. Turn this off. Let's see. How about this one? Nope. Don't tell me it's just going to be one of these regular screws. Let's try this one. All right. This one looks promising. Okay, I think we have a winner. So let me just double check. Turn this back on. Turn this on. And okay, let me recenter it a little bit. Steering. That's probably good. All right. Turn that off. Turn this off. All right, now we can unplug this because the Servo Saber is on. We don't need this for right now. I'm gonna unplug this battery. Okay, what's next? I'm going to put on the body mount, and that's what I'm talking about. The TBLE-02S switch is this kind of blocky thing, and then you saw the one that I just used as a circle thing, circle button, and it's just not going to be the same, but that's okay. Let's do this right here. D5s. It should be right here. Let's see. Remember seeing it. Okay, there's one. There's one. And let's see, where's the other one? Tree that looks like that. Let me see. Nope, it's right here next to me. Okay. And we're going to put this flush against, so this hole is going to line up with that right there, and we're going to use a BA8 screw, which is the same screw again, with a washer, and I think the washer is the BB12, which is the larger one. All right, so it's going to be like this. The small one's for the switch, which we're not going to be using. So all right, here we go. All right, this is so far already my longest stream. I think the previous longest stream was only 2 hours and 7 minutes or so, and I'm going to try to go the full 3 hours today. I was hoping to finish the kit on stream, but I don't want to push it too much. I don't want to rush, especially the decals, because it's tedious. You gotta cut, you gotta trim them out. Let me see. Let me double check something. Tamiya decals are usually not pre-cut, and these are no exception. So it takes a little while to cut those out. So I'm not going to be able to do that on stream today. Okay, so that's that. We are done with step 21. We're going to skip that because we don't have that. We don't have that switch, regardless if I use the 1060 or not. 1060 also doesn't have that switch. It's a much smaller switch. Okay, next we need to build some of these rods, adjusters. I think they call them, no, they call them, well, these are the steering links. links the servo to the axles, front axle. So it's going to, servo is going to be right here, and it's going to snap on to this ball stud right here. So let's do the, we need one long one and one short one, doesn't matter. And we're in bag C now, you can see that. And here is bag C. Dig everything, pull everything back to the middle. And it's going to be this one and this one. So let's do the long one first. So we need 2 of these. And for this, we're going to need the shaft pliers, and they look like this. This is in my Amazon storefront if you want to grab one. And this is just a ball and wrench. You can use your hand for this, you don't need, but you do need this. So I'm just going to throw in this, and then I'll grab my caliper. Okay, let's do the other end. This came with a another kit brand called 3 Racing. And I think A-Main ProTech also has one. I'm not sure if I put one of these in my storefront. I don't recall. So let's grab the caliper. We need the space between the 2 ends to be 75 millimeters. Okay, so let's see how I did. So I need to back them out a little bit. So let me just do it like this. Let's see. Oh, it needs to back it out quite a bit. $71. All right, so let's try to do it evenly. Okay. Let's see what we got. Let's see. How much is that? 74. Maybe a couple more turns. None of these have to be super perfect, by the way. We are not building anything performance oriented, so as long as it gets close. So this side is going, so these adjusters or ends are going to point in different directions. One's going to be facing you, and one's going to be facing away from you. So I would have preferred if both of these ends had the same amount of threads, but I think it's okay. I think it's going to be fine. All right, so there's the long one. Let's build the short one. It's going to be in this bag. Wow, desk looked like chaos. Let me only looks like chaos because I have a lot of stuff in it. It's not that. Okay, get rid of that. 2 more ends. One. Where'd the other one go? I would really like to maybe build this standing up, but I have a low desk, just regular height desk. Maybe in the future, if I have a dedicated streaming space, I will get a new desk. For now, this is what I got. And the shorter one will be 52 millimeters. So let's see how I did. Let's go ahead and reset it. Okay. 52. All right, I got a little bit more work to do. Okay. Now 53, so let's give it like another full turn and see where we are. 52, one more. That's probably gonna be too much, but we'll see what happens. 52, all right. 51. Yeah, 51.95. I think we're good. So now we're ready to snap these on to the servo. The short one's going to be on this side. The long one's going to be on that side. And sometimes I can do this with my fingers. Other times I will need pliers. And I'm going to use pliers this time. Long one's going to be on this side. It's super awkward when I'm doing this on stream because I need to show you what I'm doing. So kind of have to hold it in weird, awkward angles. Otherwise, I would have this right in front of my chest. Let's see. Here we go. A long one on this end, short one on this end, and now let's mount it into the chassis. All right, let's see, right here. There we go. It's funny that the switch actually goes in there. I have extra TBLE02S ESCs. I may have made, you know what? I'll dig one out of another car and I'll put it on because that's only going to look right. I think if I put another ESC with a different switch, it's just going to look weird. I think I have one that's already open, so I can just grab that. Or I can end this stream a little bit early and dig it out of another car. We'll see. All right, let's mount this first. It's going to go down like this. These two holes are going to line up with here and there. So, of course, let's move the wires back. ESC is going to, the receiver is going to end up right here, so that's perfect. I'm going to do this hole first. If I can find it. There we go. And I need the washer. It's BB12. It's probably going to be in here. Let's see. nice little tool tray. Comes in really handy. I bought this one on Horizon, but I think Amazon sells it as well. I'll try to grab that link for you guys. I think Amazon Prime Day is actually tomorrow. I wonder if any of the stuff that I put on my list will be on sale. That would be a great time to buy some of these items, especially the tools. Tools last forever. Let's see, I'm having a little bit of trouble lining this up. Okay, I think I got it. And just give it a few turns so it doesn't go anywhere. Now I can see that second one. Right here, and a screw. Okay. Okay, and there we go. And let me finish this step. See, there's the ESC and there's the receiver. I will tape down the receiver right here. I will do that part. Will do this part, but I am going to stop here because I need to sort out the ESC, and doesn't look like I should be able to continue without sorting it out first. So let me just put this down. Okay, so much room, and I probably get to plug this in. Okay, so I think I'm going to stop right here for today. Like I said, I need to sort out the ESC. I need to harvest a TBLE-02S, the Tamiya ESC, from another car, and put them in this one. This one especially, I think, must have that ESC because the hole is on the bottom. And if I leave that open, one, it's going to look ugly, and two, the dust is going to get in here. Actually, what I can do is just use the sleeve. No, actually, it won't bolt onto anything. There's nothing to bolt onto. So yeah, I'm going to have to find a ESC to attach that to. All right. So I'm going to call this stream a little bit short, about 15 minutes shorter than I wanted to, and definitely didn't get as far as I wanted to as well. But that's okay. Just more stream for tomorrow, and looks like what we got. Let's take a look what we got coming up. So looks like tomorrow night, we're going to obviously tape down the ESC after I sort that out. we're going to mount the whole front end onto the chassis, and then put on the bulkhead, and then we're going to mount the whole rear end on the chassis. Quite a few screws there. And steering adjustment. So after we bolt it on, we're going to turn the car on and make some adjustment to the steering trim on the transmitter. Then we're going to put on the front post and the front wheels and then the rear wheels. And then we'll slap the battery in, tie it down, and then plug it in. And I think we're done with the chassis. Let's see. And then following that, we're going to put decals on this pretty body that we have. All the decals and the driver, and then the headlights and the gas can, which is super cool. Put that all together and then put the body on the car, and then we'll be done. All right, super cool. So let's look at this real quick. So this is a 540 motor, and you see we won't need that adapter anymore once we use a 540. I have extra 540 motors, but I wouldn't have any use for a 380 somewhere else, so I'm not going to swap. And these are just different dampers. Let's see. Damper. Yeah, these are different kind of dampers. Are these oil filled? I don't know why this is a hop-up option. Damper length. Damper. Oh, it's CVA. Yeah, these are going to be oiled. Interesting. I don't know if I want to invest that much money into this kit. And then that's it. So, thank you very much. Thank you, Sandwich. Thank you, everybody who hung around for this stream. I'm going to call it right here and wish everybody watching a happy Father's Day. Hope you guys enjoy your rest of the night. If you're having dinner, hope you enjoy your dinner. And I'll see you guys tomorrow to finish this up. Thank you, everybody.